So we got the boat flipped back over here. Transom's all done. Just got to cut the rest of the hole out. Just got a little bit of it cut right now just so I could get the intake in and actually bolted in place finally. I got the stringers cut, so they'll run up to that rib and then it'll get boxed in at the front, and from there forward I'll just have shorter tubing, probably, or maybe angle iron. I guess I'm not sure, but that thing right there, that's the old floor support, so that's how tall it's got to be, but just stronger than that. So I can keep the floor at the same level that it was at before. I don't think I need to get carried away carrying this 6-inch all the way up there. I wouldn't have put something this tall in here, but in order for it to interfere with both of the motor plates, I mean, it really needed to be 6-inch. If you did anything shorter, it was getting to the point where the stringers were getting too far apart. So I think I got a good compromise in the position of the distance between the stringers. That it's not too far apart, but it's far out enough that you can service the starter, get to the drain plug and the oil filter maybe a little bit easier, make it a little bit easier to work on. I got a couple of these skin pieces cut out. So they'll get welded. They're kind of sort of sitting in their rough position, but they'll get welded to the outer skin and to the ribs, and eliminate the necessity of those rivets to hold everything in place. So the stringer will sit kind of roughly pretty close to there, but it'll be vertical, obviously. And then I wanted to gusset from the top of the stringer all the way out to the tip of each of these ribs to kind of hold the stringer in place. So that's where I kind of ran into a predicament. Like, I really wanted to have at least that much support in these fuel tanks that I've been, just content with. These were what I was going to use. I don't know. They were not giving me a lot of room in here to support this stringer. You can tie into these ribs towards the center, but there's not a lot of real estate in here to gusset down to those, and you would have been stuck with not a lot of support here either in order for those tanks to sit in here. They're a little bit too long and a little bit too wide. So, and the other problem they were causing is I didn't want to have them starting at the transom and going forward, having I figured at 300 some odd pounds of fuel, like if they were full, I wanted to slide them as far forward on the side of the boat as I could. And that's where I was getting into this goofy, the front of the tanks were kind of interfering with where I wanted to have the bench seat here. The base of the seat would have to be higher than I'd want it to be, and basically at the ends you would be sitting on top of the end of the fuel tank, on both, with both tanks on either side. So it's you still couldn't move them. It wasn't that much farther forward. You know, the back of the tanks was still back here. You know, I don't know, 1.5 feet maybe from the transom. So you had all that weight back kind of with the motor, where I don't want a lot of weight. So I think they might, maybe they'd be better for a bigger project. Those things would be perfect for, you know, an 18-foot boat. I think I'm going to try and get away with this thing, the tank that came in this boat. It kind of seems better in every aspect for this. Like it's a bow tank. It's made to be right. It fits perfectly right up in this bow. So yeah, all the weight of the fuel is right where I want it. And it's 19 gallons. So you figure you put that thing up in the front, you're going to lose some storage up there. You're not going to be able to put the 2 batteries up in the bow like I was planning on. It wouldn't be smart anyways, I don't think. But where was I going with this? It's you lose the storage up here, but you could potentially gain a lot of storage back here. You just opened up all of this. Like you could have it where you open up the engine compartment and you build some kind of panels in there, you know, just on the outside of the exhaust manifolds, and kind of isolate the engine from that little compartment that you just made over there, because there's nothing there now. So, and not only that, you open up the whole underside of the bench seat for storage too. There's no fuel tanks at either side. So, I don't know. I think what you could do, because 19 gallons isn't, I mean, it should be pretty decent range, but not kind of the range that I want, if I can get away with it anyway. You know, so you could just put this in there to begin with, and again, you know, somewhere you freed up a whole bunch of space. You could make some kind of two compartments that'll hold, you know, 5-gallon jerry cans. If you could get 10 more gallons of fuel in here, like, then I think it would make a substantial difference. You just set the boat up to carry a little bit of spare fuel, you know, rather than these massive tanks that maybe you're not even filling all the time because it's too much weight with both of them things full. You know, you're trying to lug around 4 people, you wouldn't want to fill those probably. So, I don't know. I think it's better all around. You know, not to mention, right off the bat, you don't need a fuel gauge, but it's poly. You can see through the tank. You know how much gas is in it. You know, I mean, and eventually I'd have to put a fuel gauge in. I probably had to have a bulkhead going across, so the wife doesn't have to look at the gas sloshing in the front of the boat. She already doesn't like boats, so it's probably something that she doesn't need to see. But it's you know, it's in good shape. I took all the bullshit off it, the rotted sender but all the fittings and nipples and everything are in good shape. The ID on the suction fittings is 3/8, you know, so you can run a big block off of this thing. So I think it'll work good. I got to put a new pickup tube. It was obviously broken off. That's as far down as it went. In a new sender, and then just run this thing back in there, put it right where it was. So you got the fuel fill. It was right there, right in front of the where the windshield's sitting right now. So the windshield's sitting way farther forward than it was. Obviously, we're still debating on doing that, but that's another advantage. I mean, when you are getting low on gas and you gotta stop and use your additional fuel you got stored somewhere, you just walk up, flip the window open, and just dump it in. It's right there. It's easy to get to in the boat. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just justifying it to myself, but it seems like a better idea, and it would be a whole lot less time making this work. There's nothing to that. You put the floor in up here, and then you build a little base for it to sit in, and then it's notched, here and here. It's just meant to have a strap going over it. You could make some kind of an aluminum strap, bend a nice strap over it, not use a ratchet strap. But I don't know, and I can find somewhere else to put the damn batteries. You're gonna have all kinds of room alongside the engine in here now, so you could put both of them up in here, as far forward as you can get them, maybe, and one on one side, one on the other. So yeah, I think that's the game plan. I think I finally have all of the aluminum that I need to finish this with, at least with all the plan that I have for it anyway, which is nice because I'm getting sick of buying aluminum because this stuff is ridiculous. Those tubes were, I don't even want to talk about how much those tubes are. The price of aluminum is just ridiculous now, at least around here. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna, like I always say, keep chugging away at the damn thing. I got the next order of business is to get those skins all welded in all the way up to here where the stringers end, and eventually I may end up doing the whole rest of the boat, but for now I'm only doing back here. So these front ones or whatever, the new skins will go all the way to the center and weld right to each other. This one's going to be kind of goofy because I want to make it cut around all of those goofy cuts that I made to make that flange. So once I can get all those in there, then we can get these stringers in here, which is the part that I've been looking forward to more than anything, actually. I'd be able to actually sit the damn motor in here finally. So, alright, I think that'll about cut her. Thanks for watching.